Hello and welcome to today's morning practice where we will get to be in flow together and starting the morning off with purpose and intention. And today's theme of our practice today is going to be all around consistency. As this word has been coming up a lot in the beginning of 2026, something that we're all trying to figure out, how do we create more consistent practice? And being able to do that on the mat allows us to learn how to do that off the mat. And so really thinking about what are the things or what kind of habits or rituals you're trying to bring into your own life that you want to bring consistency within. In the Yoga Sutras in 114, it talks about how to start to create that deepening of a yoga practice. And it is in the consistency, in the depth, and the duration. And so it's talking about how if we really want to pursue something, that we have to give it our full intention, our motivation of why we're doing it, while also starting to create that scheduled routine so that it can become an embodied way of living that we are wanting to move towards. And so for today's practice, that will be our main intention, is focusing on consistency. So if we can go ahead and just get settled here in a seated position, and we'll start with a short pranayama breath practice to allow us to get centered here together. So you'll first go ahead and take your right hand and place the pointer finger and the middle finger at your third eye, and starting to soften the gaze here, just starting to come to breath. And we'll go ahead and close the right nostril with the thumb and inhale through the left nostril. Then closing the left nostril with our ring finger, opening up the right and exhaling out the right. Inhale through the right nostril, close with the thumb, open the left, and exhale. Inhale through the left, close, exhale through the right. Inhale, close the right, exhale through the left. Do this a few more times. Inhale, close, exhale through the right. Inhale, close, and exhale through the left. Going ahead and dropping the hand down into the lap. Feeling in here. Starting to tune into the aliveness in the body. Keeping that straight spine. And starting to take some hip circles here as we begin, placing the hands on the knees, and slowly just starting to roll out the torso. And going other way. Coming back to neutral, taking some neck rolls, so dropping to the right. Inhale as you exhale, rolling the head down and to the other side. And then the same, rolling down. Again. And one more time. And now we'll do some shoulder rolls. So bring the shoulders up as you inhale and back down, exhale. And down. Up, back, and down. Same on the other side. A reverse. up, forward, up, forward. Beautiful. Now we'll go ahead and place the left arm onto the mat and coming into a side stretch. So coming through, up with the left hand, looking up to the sky. And then the same on the other side. Again. And one more time. Wonderful. Now we'll go ahead and circle the right arm back to face the back and then coming through, crossing over for a twist in the back. Looking back. Coming back to center. Same on the other side. Going ahead and crossing the arm over, bringing back. Keeping the spine nice and straight and twisting through. Wonderful. Now we'll come into a tabletop position, so onto our hands and knees as we take some gentle cat-cows here. So inhale, looking up to the sky, arching the back, and exhale, hollowing out. Inhale, curve up. Exhale, hollowing out. One more, inhale, and exhale. Go ahead and bring up that left arm to the sky and thread through to thread the needle. Option to extend the right arm out. And coming back up with that left arm and dropping back down. Same on the other side. Inhale, bring that right arm up and thread through. An option to extend the left arm out. There's also an option for a bind, the back. And coming back down into a neutral tabletop. Great. Now we'll go ahead and take our first downward dog of the day. So pushing up and back into the heels, pushing away with the palms, grounding through the pointer finger and the thumb. And starting to just drop the head, let it hang here. Maybe some yeses, some nos. You can also do lion's breath here, so sending out the tongue. And slowly rolling into plank. And option to drop the knees here, coming down into low cobra. And then placing back up and coming back into downward facing dog. Raising up the right leg to the sky. And circling out here the hip. And then swinging through into a low lunge. And from this low lunge, we can go into a modified pyramid pose. And then coming back down into a low lunge. Raise the right arm up for a twist. Keeping that back leg straight. And coming back down into plank. And lowering down into low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Really pushing those shoulders away from the ears. On your next inhale, raise the left leg up to the sky. Bring some hip circles in here. And swing the left leg through to a low lunge. Getting really rooted here. And then coming up into a pyramid pose. Modified. Option to use blocks if needed. And then coming back down into a twist on the left. Feeling your strength here. And then coming back down into plank, lowering down, knees, chest, chin, to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And then slowly walking the feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Slowly rolling up, 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 up. Circling the arms to Tadasana, mountain pose. One more time. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bring both feet back. And inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring up the right leg to the sky. Exhale, swing it through. This time coming up into a high lunge. Crescent pose. And feeling that rootedness in that back leg, the front leg. Making sure the hips are centered. And then placing the hands on the hips, coming back up into a straight-legged pose, and then coming down with a flat back into pyramid, and then folding over that right leg. Melting through here. And coming back up into a high lunge, placing the back leg back again. And circling down into plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Chaturanga, inhale, and up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring up the left leg. Bring through into a high lunge on the left. Feeling that strength in the back leg activated. And then placing the hands on the hips, bringing up that back leg and creating a flat back as you come into pyramid pose on the left. And then slowly coming down all the way. Also option to use the blocks here if needed. Coming back up into high lunge. And then circling the hands down into plank. This time we'll go slowly down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Great job. Option to step or hop the feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and circle the hands up to the sky. Great. Now from here, we'll do a chair pose. So going ahead and getting really rooted in the feet here, about shoulder width distance apart. And then sweeping the hands up as you sit back into chair, holding on to the arms strong as if you're holding a block. And sitting down, sinking even further in. And coming back up. One more time. Bring the hands up. And sink into chair. This time bring your hands into prayer pose. And rotate over the right leg. Locking that elbow into the knee. And option to open up into revolved chair, Utkatasana. Wonderful. And then coming back up. One more time. Inhale, coming down. Bringing the hands into prayer. And then rotating over the left. Looking up to the sky and opening up those arms. Great. And then coming back up. From here, we'll go ahead and widen out the legs to a little bit hip width distance apart as we slowly squat down, coming into goddess pose, pushing away with the elbows from the thighs, inner thighs, keeping that chest nice and lifted. And dropping the hands down, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Going ahead and opening up, twisting up to the right. Dropping the hand back down, other side, opening up on the left. And coming back down, slowly walking the hands to the back, folding even deeper. And walking the hands back up and slowly rising up. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Great job. All right, so now we'll come on to our backs here for our final postures of the day. So on the back, we'll go ahead and come up into a bridge pose. So inhale, lifting up the pelvis. And then dropping it back down. Inhale, lift up the pelvis. Dropping back down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Great. Now we'll go ahead and extend out that right leg, bringing in the left leg. And taking a few ankle rolls here. And then twisting over the right for a supine twist, looking out to the left. And then coming back in, circling through. And then dropping now the right leg down, left leg down, and then bringing it through to the left side and opening up for supine twist on the other side. Coming back up, and then we'll go ahead and grab the big toes with our peace sign fingers and just take a happy baby here with a flat back. Great. And then going ahead and bringing up those legs up to the sky and slowly lowering down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wonderful. And here we can just take a moment to be in Shavasana after that practice. If you need any last movements for your body to get comfortable and settled. And just going ahead and relaxing all the parts of the body. Taking deep breaths here. And when you're ready, coming onto the side into a fetal position and slowly lifting yourself up into Sukhasana, a seated position. Placing one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Taking a moment of gratitude for showing up for yourself today, for creating a consistent practice that allows you to embody the person you were always meant to be. Thank you so much. Until next time, have a wonderful day.